Hey there, and welcome to a look ahead for Thursday, the 22nd of January, with me, Fiona Cincotta, market analyst at City Index. So, just a quick recap of what we've seen going on today. Obviously, we've had Trump talking at Davos, and I think looking ahead to tomorrow, Greenland and the geopolitical tensions are likely to remain front and central. Obviously, we've had quite a quiet economic calendar so far this week, which is why we've also had such focus on the Greenland issue. But I also think that despite economic data, this is the most pressing issue for the markets as we speak. This comes after Trump spoke at Davos today. Now, he's still very much pushing for Greenland, although I think it's fair to say that his tone was a little bit softer than perhaps what we might have been expecting. There is some relief we're seeing in the markets after he said that he wouldn't use military action. Now, this is obviously the S&P 500 chart that we're looking at here. And we can see there, if we just have a look at the price action over the last few days, we've seen that pulling away from the record high, dropping quite sharply over the past few sessions as the market's fears revived surrounding Trump trade tariffs and what that would mean as far as corporate growth is concerned, what that would mean as far as inflation in the US is concerned, as well as economic growth is concerned. And that resulted in this sort of risk-off drive that we saw with that sort of sell America trade very much in focus as the markets not only look to sell out of US treasuries, US stocks, US dollar, but then we also saw the rising demand for safe havens. Now, as I said, this is the S&P 500. Now, it's interesting what we've seen going on. We saw that break below that rising trend line. It's fallen down to that 6,800 level, but we've seen a rebound today, and that comes after Davos's Trump speech. We're seeing a rise back above that 50 SMA. Now, obviously, this is by no means a solid recovery, but we have seen that sell-off steady. We've seen a rise back above that 50 SMA. So, I mean, on the upside, we'll be looking for the next move to bring the 6950 rising trend line support resistance rate back into play ahead of that 7,000 level. On the downside, if we do get a break below that 6,800, then that would bring 6720, the December low, into play. And I think that could happen if we sort of hear, if we get more posts from Trump across the course of the evening with regards to the position of Greenland. He said that he wants negotiations to start immediately. So, he's by no means sort of stepping back from this situation, but it does feel the fact that he's not willing to use force in order to take it does mean that the market is seeing a slight recovery. But I think it's worth pointing out that he didn't mention that he's not going to be using tariffs in order to force the EU's hand. So that's something to keep in mind. We will obviously be expecting to hear more. There will be, I'm without a doubt, sort of face-to-face meetings happening at Davos on the sidelines, and that's what we're expecting here is some negotiations, hopefully before the 1st of February, before those tariffs are set to come into place on 8 European countries. But I think it's also worth having a look at what's going on in gold. So because gold is still rising, so it has eased back from the fresh record high that was reached today of 48.85. We have seen it come back from that record level, but it's still trading higher on the day, very much in overbought territory here. Now, what we're seeing is obviously safe haven demand because of this ongoing concerns over the policy uncertainty in the US, and obviously concerns of sort of geopolitical tensions driving the safe haven demand of the gold and US gold and silver. But we have seen a move away from that high, as I said, overbought territory here, which is very worth noting. When we've seen previous overbought territory, we have seen a sharp pullback in the gold price. So as far as levels to be watching are concerned, just be watching out around here. This is the rising trend line support that supports right at 4,600, and then you've just got that slight support level there of 4,560, which was the high that we saw in December. If we're going to break below that, then that could potentially open the door here to 4,325. That's a 50 SMA, as well as the lows that we saw here. So that is all for me from today. I hope that you've liked what we've seen. If you have, then please do give this video a like, and for more videos like this, please do subscribe.